We will go through one or two more examples and then we will start with control statements. Okay. If you all remember the programs that we learned, I think we have covered four, five programs from the previous two classes. Today we will go through another program. Okay. To swap two numbers. Swapping of two numbers. So you know what swapping is, right? Swapping means to what? Exchange positions. Okay. Say there's a there are two variables a and b. Is the screen clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Say there are two
Yes,
variables a and b, and a contains 3, b contains say 5. Okay. So swapping means I will exchange their values. That means I will exchange these values so that a now stores 5 and b stores 3. Okay. So this is what we will be doing now. This is a very common example that you will come across. Okay. Um, so I'm just first writing the program definition here. Program to swap two numbers. Condition is there's a condition using a third variable. So this swapping can be done directly without using any other variable or using a third variable. So apart from a and b, we will have another variable, third variable that we will be making use of while swapping. Okay. So let's start. Include stdio.h int main. Okay. Int a comma b comma. So let us take the third variable as temp. So this will be a temporary variable. Okay. So this variable will be used only for the program for some reason, for a temporary for some temporary purpose we will be using these variables. That is why we have named it as temp. You can name it, you can give it any other name. Next is the clear screen function. Okay. Now we will enter the numbers one by one. So first we'll enter the value of a. Okay, so whatever I have typed, it will be displayed as it is. Next, for reading the value, we are to use the scanf function, and %d is for int because a is integer type. So %d, we will take d for int, and %a. Yes, to store the value in the address referred by a. Okay, to finally reach the memory location, we need to use the ampersand address. Ampersand means address of. You all know this. Now we will insert the value for b. Okay, that is also done. Now we will use the logic. Okay, we will use the instructions to swap two numbers. So here let me just write one more definition. Swapping the values using temp. Okay, so this is just a description of the next part that we are going to do now. First let me write it. A temp equal to a equal to b equal to temp. Okay, see now what I have done here is, see, I will be swapping the values. Okay, I will be swapping the values. Okay, just let me write it here. Suppose a is equal to 3 and b equal to 5. Fine. Now I am to exchange these values. Okay. Now to be able to exchange these values, the variables must be empty. At least one of the variable must be empty. That means if I am to store this 5 in a, okay, then I have to take out this 3 from here and place it somewhere else. Otherwise the value will be lost. Yes, if I directly store this 5 in a, okay, if I directly write a statement like this. Suppose you want to store this 5 in a and you want to store the a value in b. Okay, now to store this 5 in a, first it is important that you take out A's value and store it somewhere else. Because if you don't do that, the value will be overwritten and 3 will be lost. That means if you simply write a value like this, A equal to B, if you write a statement like this, what will happen? Whatever is the value of B, the same value will be assigned to A. So B was 5, so A also will be 5 now. This is a simple assignment statement, yes? So the value of B will be assigned to A, which means that B is also 5, A is also 5. Okay, then what about the 3? It will get overwritten. Okay, the value got overwritten. So that is why we will lose this value, but we are not to lose this value, because we are to use this value and assign it to where? B. Okay, so that is why we will be making use of a third variable. We cannot directly use the assignment statement for this purpose. Okay, because in this case what will happen is we might lose one value if we overwrite it. Okay, simply using the assignment statement will not be enough. We are to remove this value from here and place it somewhere else. So let us remove this 3 from here. Let us make A empty, and let us place it in a temporary variable. Okay, like this, temp equal to A. Okay, so initially what I have done is, to remove the number from A, I have assigned that number to a temporary variable temp. Okay, so this statement means whatever was the value of A, that value is now stored in temp, and what? A is empty now. Okay, so now A is empty. Okay, now what we can do is, we can simply, A is not empty, A will also contain 5. A still contains 3 now. Okay, we are simply assigning the value. Okay, so here now, through this statement, the first statement is temp equal to A. So what I am doing is, I am first storing the value of A in another variable, so that it is saved there and we don't lose the value. Okay, so now temp contains 3. Suppose A is 3, temp contains 3, and A also contains 3 now. Okay, now this value can be overwritten. Even if you write down directly this statement now, that will not be a problem, because we already have stored the value of A in the temp variable. Yes, so that is what we have done here. Now after this first statement, the second statement is A equal to B. That means whatever is the value of B, that value is assigned to A. So therefore now A's value is overwritten from 3 to 5. So now A also contains 5 and B also contains 5. Are these two statements clear? This and this. Next, you see what I'm doing is, because I have updated the value of A from 3 to 5, one variable is done. Now the second variable we have to look. Now B still contains 5. Okay, I have simply copied the value from B to A. This does not make B empty. Okay, B still contains 5. So I am to change the value of B from 5 to 3. Okay, so what will I do? Which is the variable that contains 3 now? It is the temp, because initially I have assigned the value of A to 3. Sorry, A to temp. That is why temp contains 3 now. Okay, and then what did we do? We have assigned the value of B to A, which makes A 5. But B is also 5. So we are to remove this. We are to override this value. So how will we do this? We will again use one assignment statement, B equal to temp. So through this, what will happen is, the value for temp is 3. Yes. Now that value will be.
Hello, भैया. हेलो, क्लास चल रहा है.
अरे यार,
वो ना कुछ बन गई है.
What are you doing?
ये सब मिलकर पीछे पड़ गए. मैं कुछ सही समझा रहा हूँ तो मेरे पीछे ही सब पड़ जा रहा है.
What is happening here?
ना पगला दिए पूरा. Sorry, ma'am. Sorry.
Why do you receive calls when I am taking the class? How many times do I have to remind you not to receive calls? The class is on record. Please do not do it from the next time. You have any incoming calls, just ignore it. or send a message. Do not receive calls, because once you start speaking, everything comes on record. The class is on record. Why don't you understand this simple thing? I'm really tired explaining to you all this. Anyways, see the last statement. What did we do now? Since A is updated to 5, now we are to update the value of B to 3. So that is what we will be doing. Temp contains 3, so I am to assign the value from temp to B now. So that is what I have done in the last statement. B equal to temp, that means here the value of temp 3, that will be assigned to B. Okay, therefore B becomes 3 and A becomes 5. Is it clear? Is this example clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody please respond.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
don't want to hear the
Yes,
response.
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Any
ma'am.
doubt with this example?
No, ma'am.
There are two students who are sitting on a chair. There are two students who are sitting on two chairs. Okay, one is sitting in chair A, one is sitting in chair B. Now, if I ask them to exchange their positions, so if you do not stand up, okay, if you do not, stand up, if you do not leave your chairs, how is the other person supposed to sit on your chair? You have to stand up. You have to first release the chair for them. So that is what we have done. So that is why we have taken another variable temp. So here first we will store the value of the first variable. Okay, then now the value of A can be overwritten. So therefore value of B has been assigned to A now, so that A becomes 5, suppose. And now because B is, we can now update B. So from there what we have done is we have 3 stored in temp. So from there we have simply assigned that value to B. So likewise we have exchanged it using a third variable. So it depends. Okay, sometimes you might be asked to swap the two numbers without using a third variable. This is using a third variable. You might also be asked to swap the two numbers without using a third variable. Okay, that means you cannot use another variable to store your numbers. Okay, so that will be an assignment for you all. I will be giving you some assignment, okay, that you have to complete. I'll give it to you on Monday. I'll give you some programs to write. Just write it and submit. Okay. I'll make you write this program without using the third variable. Okay. Anyways, so since we are done with the logic now, so let us just. So this was the logic. Okay. We have simply done the shuffling here. We have simply exchanged the numbers, but finally we are to provide the output. We are to display the output. So for that we are to write the printf statements as after swapping values of A and B are A comma B. So this another same statement can be written like this. If you want to see the difference between the two. After swapping in, suppose there's another statement where you would like to check the result before swapping. Okay. So one statement is for before swapping, what are the values of A and B? Okay, sorry, I have missed out this. %D and %D. Okay, so for %D, A will be displayed, the value of A will be displayed, and for the second %D, value of B will be displayed. So likewise here also, this, the same thing, okay? After swapping, values of A and B are %D and %D. So this is what we will be doing here. So let us just check the result. Enter the value of A, suppose value of A is 5. Enter the value of B, say B is 8. Okay. See, before swapping, values of A and B are 8 and 5. Oh, sorry. I did a mistake. I have swapped the values and then I have typed this. So this statement needs to be written at the beginning. Okay, before swapping, because we have already done the swapping here, and after that I'm displaying this. So this is a mistake. So this statement I will write here. Have you understood the problem? What the error that we got now? See, here we perform the swapping operation, okay, and after that I try to display this statement. So obviously it will give us the reverse result. Okay, so if you want to cross check the values and then you perform the swapping, then this statement must be written at the beginning of this logic. Okay, just before performing the operation, swapping operation, you have to display the values first. Okay, what are the original values? If that you want to display, that needs to be done just before the swapping, and after the swapping is done, after the operation is performed, anyways you are getting the swapped values, not the original values. Okay, so that is what I have done. I did a mistake here. Anyways, let's now check. Okay, I took the value of a to be 5 and b to be 8. So see, as you can see, before swapping, values of a and b are 5 and 8. That is correct. And after swapping, the values of a and b are 8 and 5. Okay, so this is what this problem was about. Fine. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let me think of another problem, one more example that I would like to show you all. Okay, let us try to solve. Suppose we are given a function. Okay, we are given an equation in x, and then we have to find the value of that equation in terms of y. Okay. Anyways, let us just do another program. We'll get programs of that sort also. Suppose, just let me write down the problem here. Program to find the value of y using the relation. So a function is given in x. For that you have to find the value of y. Y equal to x squared. Okay, so here we cannot write x squared, so that we will have to write like this: x squared plus twice x plus, sorry, minus 1. So this is an equation. Okay, you cannot write x squared in the editor. You cannot write x squared directly, just as we do in maths. Okay, so there's a formula here that we will be using. But anyways, so this is one equation in x, and for that you have to find the value of y. So the value of x will be given, okay, or it can be given as the user input. Okay, and based on whatever value you give for x, you have to find the value for y. So let us start doing it. See, first, say let us take the values of x and y to be of integer type. Okay. Enter the value of x. So I will let the user enter the value of x. For that you have to use the scanf function. Now you are to find the value of y based on the formula. Okay, so once the user has given the input for x, so based on that input, you are to place that value in x in this equation, and you are to find the value for y. Now see, it can be done in two ways. Okay, this formula that I have written, this can be either done written in this way, x into x, because x squared means x into x. You cannot write x raised to 2 here. Okay, x into x plus 2 into x minus 1. Okay, this is one way of doing it. There's another way of doing it that we will show, that I'll show you in the next part. Okay, so just let's first concentrate in this way only. Value of y for given x is value for y if x is percent d is equal to percent d. So here, every time you give a new value, okay, for x, that value will be appearing here, okay, and for y, whatever value you get will be appearing here. So my first percent d, you have to first check for which variable you have used the percent d, okay. So your first percent d is for y. Wait, just wait. Okay. See, for the first percent d, what value are you supposed to display here? The value of x, right? So first you have to mention x here. Okay, that please remember this always. The way you write the format specifiers, in that way you are to give the variables, okay, later on. You have given 2 percent d's, so you are to check which value you want to display for which particular format specifier. So for the first percent d, you are to display the value of x, because this percent d is for the value of x, and the next percent d is for the value of y. So here you are to give y. Okay, so we have done it. So let's check. Enter the value of x. Suppose value of x is 2. We got y to be, see, value of y if x is 2 is equal to 7. So let's check it here. We took x to be 2, so 2 2s are 4 and 2 2s are 4. So 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 minus 1 is 7. The value is correct. Yes, the answer is correct. You can also give any other value. You can, if you want to take decimal values, then for that you have to use the float or double data type here. Okay, so it is up to the user, however you want to use it. I have taken integer value, so I have only typed integer value. So let us cross check it for some other value of x. Say let x equal to 5. My answer is 34. So let's cross check it. I have taken x to be 5, so 5 raised to 2 is 25. Then here 5 into 2 is 10. So 25 plus 10 is 35. 35 minus 1 is 34. So the answer is correct. Okay, so this is one simple way of writing this problem. Another way that you can use it here is to use the library function power. Okay, so what you can do is you can simply use a library function like this. There's a library function, inbuilt function, using which you can calculate the power of a, okay, a power of a particular variable. Okay, because this is x squared, so there's a built-in function, and for this built-in function you are to use the header file math. Okay, math.h, so that you are to include it here. Include math.h. Okay, have you understood what I have done? To be able to use this power function, you are to use the math.header file, math.h header file. Okay, and what is the meaning of this power means? It will be simply calculating x raised to 2. Okay, suppose you have x to the power 5. Okay, see, if you have only 2x squared, then it is easy. You can write x into x. Suppose you have x to the power 10. Okay, if you have an equation where x is raised to 10, then in that case, are you going to write 10x like that? X into x into x into x. How many times are you going to write x? Yes. So for that, to make the task easier, we can use the power function, which is already there. Okay, it's a shortcut. You can easily use it there. So power, POW, all the letters must be lowercase. In bracket, just mention, first you have to mention the variable, then the exponent. Okay, so this is how you can do it. And let us just check the result again. Initially I took x to be 2, so yes, I have the same result. And also for the next value, let us check. I took x to be 5, so I need to have 34 the answer. Yes, I have the value. Okay, so is it okay? Have you understood it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it clear to all?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Yes, ma'am.